Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Madash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're going to go into strive for the masteries. Okay, strive for the masteries. Alright. We're going to go into that. Okay, you want to have this thing down. Okay, you want to have this, you want to have this word down, so to speak, because like anything else, you want to master it. You want to have this thing, you want it to be in you. So strive for the masteries, because don't you want to know about your history? Don't you want to know about your creator? Don't you want to know where you come from? See? Alright, and you gotta remember, to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans out there, alright, the Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, real fast, let's just break down the Hebrew Israelite. It's not just, because a lot of people, there's a lot of scoffers out there. Hebrew Israelite, that's not a religion. Okay, Hebrew Israelite, that's our nationality. That's our heritage. That's our history. Alright? Hebrew means from the past, and Hebrew is our language. Okay? Israelite, okay? Israel means what? He is a prince of the power. But what power? There's only one power. Remember, there's only one God, the God of the Israelites, who is Yahweh. Alright? So, the Israelites are the sons and daughters of Yahweh, and that's literal. So this is why these heathens and Edomites, at the end of the day, they're mad and stuff, but why? What is it? Why do they hate us so much? Because they're jealous. Because they want what we're gonna get. They want what they want what they want what we're about to inherit. Okay. All right. Immortality, planet travel, all that. And they know that. See, this is why this thing is not about color. Like, because I hear some simpletons out there saying, "Oh yeah, man, the so-called white man's coming at us because of our color of our skin." No, he's not, you dumbass. Okay, because how come they're not going after the Arabs? How come they're not going after the so-called East Indians that own these 7-Elevens? Don't worry, I'll wait. You see? Because it's about these elites. They know who we are. Okay, why are they just targeting so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans? Because remember, we are the children of Yahweh. See? And remember, Moses, King David. All right. Habakkuk, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezra, John the Revelator, John the Baptist. Okay, Yahweh Shai. All right, that's all our history. They're all our people. Paul, okay, the Apostle Paul was from the tribe of Benjamin. See, that's all our history. Okay, that's all our history. Okay, Noah. All right, this is all our history. So this is something that you guys got to this is not a light thing. All throughout the scriptures, Samson. Okay, this is all us. All right, so let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1 on down. We'll start right here. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahweh Shai. Right, okay, because right now we're in the grace. Here, so what covers us? The blood of Yahweh Shai. Okay, because it's not all about the law. The law. Yes, you want to follow the law to the best of your capability, but we're rehearsing the righteous acts. Okay, so this is what you guys gotta know. All right, because we're not gonna have the Hebrew language. I mean, we know it, but brother's not gonna be fluent in it. And definitely going to the law real fast. Okay, we're not gonna keep it 100. Right here, number one, because we're in the flesh. It's just the way it is. Number two, all right. These bodies are programmed to sin because remember we're over here on a punishment. Okay, we're not over here in America to have a good time. Okay, to just live it up. So you have to understand that. Okay, yes, the Lord's gonna give you your little time for yourself and let do a little thing with your family. You know how it is. Sometimes you gotta have your personal space. You have a little this. You get your smoothies. You go wherever you want to kind of have like do your thing. You might go do some Muay Thai. Whatever. Okay. All right, but remember, at the end of the day, we are in slavery. Okay, so remember, that's why you're not gonna always have it your way. Because remember that you're not gonna always have it your way. You're not gonna always have it your way. Because we are in captivity, but we're coming to the end of this thing. All right, so this is why you have to realize, what's going on. It's not like you just gotta walk around with your head down, like, oh, No, it's just that this is why these things happen unto us because we're underneath the curses. All right, but at the end of the day, just look at, do you still have everything that you need to survive? Yeah, and who do you think did that? Who do you think's doing that? Okay, the Lord and the angels are sustaining you out there to hopeful elect. All right, yeah. Because okay, you may have lost your job, you may have lost your car. So what? Those things don't even matter. Because if you're not right with the Lord, none of that matters. Because remember, faith is key. Okay, faith is key. Why is that? Well, remember the first pandemic when I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna use that one celebrity. Remember that bug out, Cardi B. It's just something I'm gonna use her because that's something that I remember just right away off the top of my head. Okay, remember Cardi B? Well, she was bugging out, saying like, she wanted to kill herself. And remember, like people, when the first pandemic happened, remember in like 2020, I believe it was. All right, remember these celebrities who were millionaires and they had Ferraris and mansions. They were bugging out inside their house. It's like they had all kinds of food and a big old mansion, and they don't know what to do with themselves because their fame is it's vanity, it's wicked. Okay, it's empty. Okay, it's emptiness because they're getting famous, but who the hell are these people? Looking at them like, oh yeah, we like her. Yeah, these people are Generation Z. These people are lesbians, homosexuals, disrespectful to their parents. So these are the people applauding. I'm like, yeah, who do you think these people are that go to the concerts and all that? They're a bunch of bug outs, So they're getting fame, but look at who's looking at them. Look at these people, Are they people that believe in the Lord and are warriors and respected people? Nah, man, they're a bunch of degenerates. So you're getting fame from who? A bunch of a bunch of degenerates, a bunch of gremlins. You see? All right. But the point is because they didn't have faith. The believers of the Lord, the hopeful elect, were all right. A lot of the believers thought that was it. That the tanks were coming. I know I thought that for a second. We still had to go through a few steps, a few more prophecies, but because we were hoping, like, all right, hey, let the UN troops start coming in. Hey, let it happen already, See, but we weren't. We had everything we needed in that time, and the shutdowns and all that. Okay, all right. So and we were chilling, we weren't all like, oh man, nah. But you see the difference because even though people have $2 million, a nice car, a nice job, and all that, it don't mean nothing because this place, once it gets shut down, then what? Okay, your job's gone. Okay, you're just gonna be in an empty big old house by yourself. Pretty soon, the UN troops, the secret cells, These militias are gonna drag them out of their houses. You know, that nice car is not even gonna work because, you know, this place is gonna be under martial law and EMP might strike. So okay, then what? Okay, so there goes your house, there goes your nice job, and there goes your car. So now what? Now you're just out there with fake lips, a fake ass, okay? You know, all these women got that fake chest, fake boobs, and all that. You know, they're gonna be out here looking terrible. You know, remember, on the shutdowns, there's not gonna be for you women out there. Remember, there's not gonna be no, you're not gonna have no razors, no showers, no lotion, no oils, no Maybelline, no none of that. All right, so a lot of these women out here are gonna be looking horrible. Okay, all right, yeah. Yep, and that goes to the wicked women out there, not knocking on you righteous women out there, all right, because the Lord's going to sustain you, all right, and then the righteous women out there too, you guys are not out there putting on pounds and pounds of makeup and doing all that stuff anyway. You know, you might put on a little bit, you know, but you're not like the wicked women out here that puts on layers and layers of fucking makeup, you know, that come out here looking like a fucking birthday cake, you know, like what the hell, you know. Sometimes, you know, you see these women, they put on layers and layers of makeup, you know? They look like a fucking birthday cake. Excuse my Italian. You know, but imagine to like the wicked people out here, you know, imagine how it is when sometimes, you know, you have a long day and, you know, you don't take a shower for a day or two. So imagine that when people are running, fighting for their lives, there's no showers, no nothing. Remember, no cologne, no perfume, no nothing. It's going to be very horrible out here. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Imagine, you know, no nothing, no running water, because all that's about to be shut off. The running water, the gas, all that. All right. So it's the grace of the Lord. All right, because the people that have all that, see how they started bugging out? Because yeah, they had, you know, they had the riches, the fame, and all that. But look at when it was time for shutdown, without all that fake fame and all that, these people were nothing. They wanted to kill themselves inside their houses. So what's the point on that? You know, Salakia, I know I kind of went a little long on that, but it's just my spirit, you know. Right now I just, you know, had to give you guys that example. The point was, look at how they were bugging out. I mean, hey, you know, they had a big old mansion. You know, they had all kinds of snacks inside their house, you know, food and stuff, and they're still, you know, going on YouTube or whatever, saying that how they wanted to kill themselves, they didn't know what to do with themselves. It's like, yo, because you can't stay in your house for a little bit? See? Why? Because you have to go out there and fucking be a gremlin? You know, you got to go out there and have people that, oh, hey, look at me, you know? To show you that it's wicked, you know? And that's a feminine spirit. You know, why do you want people looking at you? You know? That's a feminine vibration, you know? Why would you want people looking at you? Like, hey, look at me. Oh, yeah, hey, the whole town's looking at me. You know? Stupid. You know? But don't worry, for those of you that do want that attention, you know, like, oh, it's all about me. You know, hey, look at, they're looking at me. They want me. Well, the UN troops and militias are going to be looking at you. You know, you busted. You see? All right? So those of you jakes out there that want that attention, the Lord's going to give you that. Oh, bet. You know, he's going to give you that. He's going to give you that for the free, yeah? For the free? For free, baby. You know? Facts. So, that's the thing, you know, you got to have that faith, because those that have faith, you weren't really worried about it, because you knew, all right, this is part of the prophecy, you know, this is, you know, we're already, you know, Esau starting to make his move, you know, he's bringing in, you know, his pestilence, because remember this time, Esau is going to bring in more. Bill Gates told you himself, if the first one didn't get your attention, the second one will. So there's still going to be more heavy pestilence coming from the left-hand side. But also the Lord's going to bring his on the right-hand side. See? So there's a lot of stuff that we're about to go through still, you know? So remember that. Stay focused out here. Stay focused. Because remember, if you have a good day, a good week, don't be too, like, all right, you know? Remember, stay focused. Because any day something can happen. You know, brothers or sisters can get separated. You gotta prepare your minds for that, you know, where, you know, you might think, hey, let me talk to a brother, and, you know, you won't be able to no more. Just like that. So you gotta just prepare your minds for that, Yeah. Always. All right. Verse 1. Okay, so 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace and Yahushai. Okay, because we're underneath the grace. Because if it was according to the law, nobody would have made it. The only one who was perfect was who did it was Yahushai. Okay, so we're underneath grace, but that don't give you the liberty just to, all right, well, I'm gonna do whatever I want. The blood of the lamb covers me anyways. No, okay, you're not supposed to add sin to sin. You want to try to offend less and do the best you can, but you are still gonna go off. We all are. You just gotta know that, but you don't just go out there like, well, I'm gonna do it anyway just because fuck it. Hey, sometimes we're in the flesh. Sometimes these bodies get tired. Hey, sometimes things happen, but you have to just remember we're underneath grace. Why? Because that's how important that sacrifice was when Yahushua went on the cross. Because it is done, it is done, it is finished. Because his blood covers you. Alright, verse 2. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men. See? Who shall be able to teach also other. Right, because, look at, starting with the apostles. Alright, the apostles and elders on down of GMS. Okay? And those other out there that are teaching the correct doctrine, they're faithful, because it don't matter what you go through, okay? It don't matter what you go through, alright? What they go through, they're still there, bringing out the word. Non-stop. Alright? See? Verse 3, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. There it is. Okay? There it is. Beautiful precept. Okay? Thou therefore, okay, listen up. Endure. So endure means you have to go through it. So whatever the Lord puts on you, take it cheerfully. So we all got to go through it. Okay? Lord willing, I'm part of the hopeful elect. I don't know. But I'm hoping, because I committed sins unto death, and hey, I don't know, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But that's why, nobody supposed to, get, big-minded in this thing and boast, because hey, we all fell short of the kingdom, But that's okay. That's where that grace comes in, okay? Because the Lord covers the hopeful elect. That's why we're prisoners of hope, because we're hoping, And that's why that scripture is written, let not your sins weigh you down. So you're not supposed to be out here just sinning willfully, just adding it on top of sin on top of sin. But also remember that when you do sin, don't let it weigh you down, because the Lord knows, like, hey, he knows your heart. Like, all right, like that person's trying, like, hey, that person just got, tired in the flesh. It was a slip up, hey, that person, my servant, he didn't mean to eat that pork. It was in there, then he didn't really know. See? Because, he wasn't, because when people eat pork, like the hopeful elect, by accident, it's by accident, sometimes, you know how it is. You go to these restaurants or food trucks and sometimes they put it in there and you don't even realize it. So like a couple bites, then you're like, hey, shit, what is this, But you didn't know. See that? So that's not, the Lord got that covered. All right, because you didn't say, hey, give me a carnitas burrito. That's different when you say, imagine. That's, yeah. See, that's way different right there, Because you didn't just say, give me a pork sandwich. No, you wanted a asada or a chicken, and they just kind of put a little bit of pork in there. But they did it, you didn't want that. So that's not, see, it's not on you, All right, so endure hardness, okay? So hardness, it doesn't mean this is gonna be some easy, ride, and yeah, this is gonna be easy, Nah. Okay, this is major right here. It ain't no easy. This ain't no light thing. Okay, it ain't no light thing. It ain't no light thing. Hardness. Hardness. It doesn't mean hey. It doesn't say, oh, this is gonna. It doesn't. I'm gonna get on you wacky tacky Christians real fast, like Apostle Gabar says. He's right, you wacky tacky Christians, because I saw there was some Christian past, somebody who was teaching on YouTube, but he was he said, hey, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you got nothing to worry about. What a dumbass. Okay, excuse my Italian. You got everything to worry about. Because first of all, that's not his name. And I don't even like saying that, but I just gotta say it for edification purposes. Okay, hey, that's not that's that's not the way to go, because even those who are in the truth, okay, because those that are in the truth, all right, those that are in the truth, okay, the Lord even said, endure, is telling us, endure hardness through much tribulation, must ye enter the kingdom through much tribulation. All right, so the Lord's saying, yeah, this is, what else being said? The elect shall scarcely be saved. Okay, all right, so we gotta go through a lot of tests, a lot, Lord willing, I'm part of the hopeful elect. So the hopeful elect has to go through a lot of tests, has to still go through a lot of things. Okay, they'll therefore endure hardness. So endure. So you have to, whatever you gotta go through, you gotta go through it. Okay, so this is why you're striving for the masteries, because it doesn't matter if you get knocked out. It doesn't matter if you get be off to the side. This is why you have to stay on the path and focus on the kingdom. This is why you have to keep your eyes single, focus on the kingdom, all right? Stay on the path, but, trust in the Lord. Going back to Proverbs, lean not unto thy own understanding. Don't try to be like, well, I got it, I'm good. No, you don't even want to start thinking like that. Rebuke that demon, because there's a demon that will, there's a demon that's called pride. It's a real demon, all right? And it'll get in your head like, oh yeah, I'm cool, like, I'm good, I don't need to do that. Rebuke that demon, because that's a real demon right there. All right, yeah, doubt is a demon. That's an unclean spirit, but that's it's a real demon. Yeah, pride, because you think like, oh yeah, I don't need to, because some people, you may think like, oh yeah, shit, I didn't really pray, but I can pray later. Nah, and then that pride demon will be on you like, oh yeah, you're cool, don't worry about it. The Lord understands. Like, nah, you pray, man. Even if it's real fast, quick and straight to the point. Just like the Lord says, hey, when you pray, you don't gotta be all long and nah, man, just keep it real. The Lord already knows what you need, because the Lord controls everything. He's putting you through it. Okay, ask for what you need. Keep it real. Be solid. Don't be all wavering. Don't be all nervous. Keep it real with the Lord. Just like anything else, just like, when you're young, you used to ask your parents, for money, hey, hey dad, hey mom, can I have, $15, my school's gonna have like a book fair tomorrow, whatever, like that, just keep it real, boom, straight to the point, keep it real, boom, that's all it is with the Lord, just keep it real, okay, keep it real, straight to the point, not all this and, trying to be all over righteous and don't be an actor. Okay, just hey, the Lord knows what it is. Okay, all right, the Lord knows what it is. All right, so just get right to the point. You see? Verse 3. Salak. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. Okay? Endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. A soldier. See? So the Lord's saying, hey man up. Okay? To the daughters of Zion out there, stand strong, okay? Let not these these unbelievers, who cares what they gotta say? Okay? Who cares what they gotta say? And that goes to everybody out there that's part of the hopeful elect. To all you brothers and sisters out there, Akim and Aqua, hey, just stand strong, okay? believe in yourself and be confident. You know, who gives a damn what these people say? All right, you want to please the Lord. You want to be like, man, hey, is the Lord happy with me? Am I pleasing the Lord? This is what you want, okay? Why is that? Because if you want to please the Lord, everything else is gonna just fall in place. Because if you're striving for the masteries, you know, if you're staying on the path and you're trying to please the Lord, then what? Then everything else comes along with it. Everything else comes along with it. Everything else comes along with it. Meaning what? Okay, everything. The way you eat. Okay, you're gonna pray more. All right, you're going to pray more. You're going to you know you're gonna study more. You're gonna read the Bible more. You know, because if you're focused on trying to please the Lord, everything else is gonna come hand in hand. You know, trying to eat better. You know, trying to study more, praying more. Because what pleases the Lord? By keeping the commandments. Those of you that are able to teach, right, push the word. But those of you that are not teachers out there, which is perfectly fine, you know, because you got the believers in this thing. All right, you just stay on point. You know, you want to please the Lord by doing what? Just doing the things that are pleasing unto Him. You know, pray, fast, study. You know. All right, how about your brother and sister that's in the faith? Okay, you're gonna do things like that. It comes hand in hand. So that's why you want to strive for the masteries. Okay, you want to stay focused out here, big time. Because when you try to please the Lord, all right, everything else comes hand in hand. Everything else will fall in place. All right, so you want to do that first. All right, please the Lord first. You see, all right, and then everything else comes hand in hand. Yep, it's just the way it is, you know? It's just the way it is. So you want to please the Lord, you know? Then everything else comes hand in hand. You see? So it's very, very important, you know, because then everything else is just gonna fall in place. You see? Then everything else is gonna fall in place. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. No man, here we go. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Right. So meaning, don't be too caught up out here. Okay? Don't be too caught up out here with this and that. And, I got to do this. And if you don't have time for the Lord, then you're too busy. Okay? And you might say, well, hey, man, I got to pay this apartment. I got to do this. I don't have time for nothing. Then fucking leave that apartment. Go live with a brother or sister, whatever. Because your soul depends on it. If you're too busy because, I gotta pay this apartment, I gotta pay for this car, get rid of that fucking car. Go buy a car cash for $2,500, $3,000. You know what I'm saying? You know, make the adjustments. You know, because you don't have to live in your apartment. You see? Remember that. 'Cause a lot of you are too busy. You're thinking, I gotta pay this and shit. I don't got no time for nothing. Get rid of some shit. Trim your lamp. You know? Yeah. And it's just like that. It's just like that. It's that simple because I just a lot of people will jump through hoops just to please the so-called white man, you know? But when it comes to the Lord, a lot of people have a lot of excuses, you know? Verse 4, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. There it is. Okay? Because remember that he may please him, because that's what you want to do first. You want to please the Lord. Okay? Who had chosen him to be a soldier. So the Lord said, I chose you. Don't worry about. This ain't about you. Okay? The Lord is going to protect his elect. Yes. But remember the mission. On your feet, soldier. Okay? Because the Lord, so I chose you. Nah, you're gonna do what I say. Shit, huh? If a man also, here we go. There we go. Here, this is the point. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5. And if a man also strive for the masteries, okay, because you want to, right there, you want to strive for the masteries. Remember, those of you that know Bruce Lee, he goes, "Hey, I don't fear a man that can throw 1,000 kicks. Fear a man that can that practices that one kick 1,000 times, because that guy has that kick mastered. You know, it's like police officers when they're constantly, practicing drawing out their gun. Man, they're fast, because they're constantly drawing it out, like, boom, boom, boom. So when it comes down to it, they're on point. Like, they draw it out. See, it's just an example out there. So when you strive for the masteries, these precepts, reputation is key, because that's how you master things down, by just doing it over and over and over again. Because it's automatic. Okay, it's like at your job, when you constantly do things over and over again, like you have it down. It's like what they call it, second nature or something like that, and then when a new person comes in, you gotta explain, all right, do this and that. But for you, it's like so simple, it's so easy, because you already mastered it down, because you do it over and over and over again. See, reputation is key, huh? So that's why when a new person comes in, they're like, well, fuck, I don't know how, because they never done it before. Yeah, but once they start doing it over and over again, then what? Then they have it down, like, oh shit, right? Okay. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. Right there. There it is. All right, let's keep going. Verse 6: The husbandman that laboreth must be fruit partaker of the fruits, right? Because you have partake. Yes, because you're gonna know, like a good tree. You're gonna know a good tree by what? By his by his fruits. All right, if there's a bad tree, you're gonna be like, hey man, this lemon tree, or this orange tree, it's not even giving me no oranges or no lemons. I'm like, yeah, because that's a bad tree. But that's all it is. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. Okay? Yeah, because you have to put in work. You got to put in work. All right, consider what I say. And the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai give thee understanding in all things. Because you got to understand what it is. Okay, not just be, I believe in the Lord. Nah, you got to understand what it is. That way when these things go down, you're going to understand that, hey, remember, because a lot of people you got a lot of phonies out there that believe. Watch what happens to IOIC, UBK, and all of them. When these militias, because Esau is going to start rolling. A lot of these false Israelite groups are going to tuck in their fringes. Right now, they think they're all bad. Like, oh yeah, we got, they got like, guns at camp and all that stupid shit. Watch when Esau starts rolling. A lot of these phonies are going to, they're going to denounce that they're Israelite. They're going to tuck in their fringes. Watch, because this ain't no game. Esau is going to start rolling. Esau is going to start rolling. Separating your families. Watch. All these phonies, they're trying to be all cute right now because, they're just out there, they just want attention and, they're part of a camp, but they're not even taking it seriously. But that's all right. Just watch what happens to them. That's all right. Because the joke's on them. The Lord ain't playing. The Lord's not playing around at all. So we don't even. That's why don't even be mad, because the Lord and Esau is gonna deal with them, because the Lord's gonna have Esau get them, and if Esau don't get them, the Lord's gonna get them. So remember, that's why you don't gotta get too upset, because they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Okay, and remember, these second shutdowns gonna happen. Esau is gonna remember, he's gonna outlaw this, where the teachers of the word are gonna be persecuted and stuff. Watch. A lot of these phonies are gonna fold like a lawn chair. Yep, the men of the Lord are gonna go all the way. They're gonna go all the way because they truly believe in this thing. They're not just trying to be part of some, Israelite. This is the Israelite. This is the Israelite, party. You see? Verse 8. Remember that Yahushua, the seed of David, was raised from the dead according to the gospel, according to my gospel. Right? Okay? Because remember, the Lord, by going on that cross, was that heavy of a sacrifice. This is why the left-hand side can't win, no matter how hard they try. Let them scramble. Let them get mad. Remember, it is done. The Lord went on the cross. He defeated the earth, this world, and Satan. It's already done. It's already done. See? That's why the left-hand side gets mad or whatever. Let them get mad. Fuck it. Don't matter. It's already done. Okay? Yahushua did it. Look where he's at now. He's untouchable. Yep. Yeah, because the left-hand side can talk shit all they want, but can they do it? They can't. Okay, they still to this day, they can't shoot down one shit. Not even the U.S. military. They rained down the hellfire. Look what happened. All right, so why be wary? Because the Lord's showing you. Look, because who won? It's obvious, right? Okay. Verse 9. Let me see. Oh, that's it right there. I believe that's a point. Let me, let's go from here. Right here. Salaki, just bear with me. See if there's more meat here. First Corinthians chapter 9. The point is in the 25th verse, but I just want to see if there's a little bit more meat here. Bear with me. First Corinthians chapter 9 verse 24 on down. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. Right? So run that ye may obtain. Exactly. All right. So right there, because when you run a race, you're trying to win, right? You're trying to finish the race. This is why Apostle Paul said, "Okay, I have finished my course. I have kept the faith." It's like if somebody said, "Oh yeah, I ran a marathon 5 years ago." You say, "Okay, how fast did you run it?" And someone say, "Oh yeah, I didn't finish it. I couldn't make it. I tapped out on the 17 miles." Like, yo, what's up? See, you could at least walk the rest of it. See? Imagine if someone said, "Oh yeah, I'm starting to build. I'm building a house for my family. In Arizona. We're gonna go live over there in a couple of years." And then 10 years later, you see that same person. You say, "Hey, what happened to that house? How did the house come out?" Say, "Oh, I never finished it." Like, yo, so why do you even start building it? So that's the whole thing. It's all about you want to finish the race. So that's why you want to strive for the masteries. That way, this is why, because we all want that crown. So remember, it's not just about, no, you have to stay in this thing. Because you want to finish the race. You want to finish the work. Because Yahushua is not here yet. Okay, we got to go through a lot. There's a lot we got to go through. That's why it's not, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, that's right, fuck the heathen. Yeah, we got it, you guys. Yeah, hey, let's go get some wine and Let's dress up like Power Rangers. Yeah, nah, fuck no. It ain't like that at all. Excuse my Italian. There's a lot that we gotta go through. A lot. So yes, you can rejoice, but remember, it's not just, oh, this is gonna be just some Israelite hangout. Nah. Okay. Remember that there's a lot that's gonna happen. Okay. Real soon, a lot of people are gonna see your parents, your family members, be put to death, get sent to concentration camps, get drafted in the army. There's a lot that's gonna go down out here, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna see a lot of people out here starve to death, kill each other. There's a lot. So this is why just stay focused. All right, because it's about to go down. It's about to go down out here. All right, in a real way. Yes, the Lord is gonna cover the elect, but you got to understand, hey man, we're not out of the woods yet. So once again, verse 24: Know ye not that which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain it. Right. So that's why you strive for the masteries. Because what is that? We're trying to get into that ship, that chariot. Okay, we want to be give all diligence to make that calling and election sure. See? All right. Yeah, because you gotta be, in a race, you gotta really try. You gotta really run. See? So that's how it is in this thing. You have to really believe. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm here waving hi to everybody. Like, oh yeah, no, you gotta be in this. You gotta be in this thing. You gotta be actually running. You gotta actually be in this race. Verse 25. And if every man striveth for the mastery, is temperate in all things. Right. Okay, because this is why that scripture is written, and thy patience possess ye your souls. One more time. And every man that striveth, here's the point. Man, the scripture's heavy. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25. Check it out. And every man that striveth for the mastery, man or woman, is temperate in all things. Because you're going to understand, okay, I got to wait for this. I got to wait for my food. Okay, you're going to be temperate. You're going to be patient. If you lose your job, if you lose your car, you're going to be like, fuck it. That's my trial. That's my test. I'm just going to endure it and trust in the Lord. Because you're going to be temperate. Like, fuck it. Well, whatever. If your tire gets popped, you're not just going to be like, oh, fuck, man, I already knew it. I already fucking knew it, You're going to be temperate because you're going to know what it is. Okay? All right? Now, they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. Because, remember, what did the Lord Yahweh tell us? Okay? Hold on to that crown. Let nobody take it. Because you guys already got it. The elect already got the victory. Through who? Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay? We just got to hang on to it. Alright? Alright. And that's it. That's the point. So with that, keep the faith, strive for the mastery. Remember, you want to please the Lord, and everything else will fall in place. But put the Lord first. Everybody else takes the back seat. Everybody else takes the back seat. Put the Lord first. And the Lord's gonna take care of you. You'll see. Just like at your job. You're like an overachiever. You're there early. You're always doing good. The manager's gonna be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give this person a raise. Like, damn, this person's excelling. This person's always on time. He's helpful. He's honest, or she's honest. Like, damn, you know what? I'm gonna give that person a raise. Same thing with the Lord. Okay, you put in for the Lord. You show up on time. You study. You fast. You do your stuff, and you're diligent. The Lord's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna upgrade this person. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, yep. Just like that, Akim Aqua. So with that, strive for the masteries. You know what to do. Alright, stop playing around. You know what to do. On your feet, soldier. Shalom.